What do you think is the number one reason why people never actually start a print-on-demand store? If you're someone that has just been kind of lurking and watching a lot of print-on-demand videos, this video here today is going to 100% help you. What I have for you is a live stream. This is a recording from inside of my print-on-demand Facebook group. Inside of the group, there's over 50,000 print-on-demand store owners. So if you wanted to join to be able to attend future streams like this and ask me questions directly, there is a link down in the description. Without further ado, let's jump into the stream. All right, folks, I think we're live here. When you join in, if you can hear me, even if you're watching as a replay, say I can hear you or type me in the chat. I wanted to do a live stream today and sort of talk about some of the biggest reasons why people never actually start a print-on-demand store. There's likely a lot of you here who are interested in print-on-demand and you've been watching content online and you actually haven't created a store. And the sad truth is, in my experience of running this group, there's a lot of people that actually, never will open a store. And there's really three main reasons why I've noticed that to be the case. And I want to talk about those today and hopefully help you with them. As you guys are joining in, drop some likes on the stream. That helps it to reach a wider audience here inside of the group. Hopefully, these words that we talk about today will be helpful to some other people. So make sure to do that. And then secondly, in the chat, let me know if you're someone that's opened a store already, right? Just type I've opened already or I haven't opened yet. So that way I can kind of get a little bit of an understanding of where everybody is at. But like I said, three reasons, most common why people don't actually open a store. The first one is self-doubt. This is a big one, and type me in the chat. And I know I always am saying like type this, type that, type this. There's a reason for that. That's because I'm just sitting here talking to a camera, and when I see people in the chat, it makes me feel like I'm actually talking to people. So if you struggle with self-doubt, type me in the chat. Let's all be vulnerable with each other a little bit. I think self-doubt is probably one of the biggest things that a lot of people deal with when it comes to trying to actually move forward and open a print-on-demand store. I know for me, when I first started print-on-demand, there was a ton of self-doubt. Even now, like I've been doing print-on-demand since 2016, and even sometimes when I'm working on something new or just like changing something that's existing, I still have self-doubt. And I think one of the biggest causes of self-doubt is that we almost place way too high of expectations on ourselves, meaning our goals that we set are not in line with something that is achievable. And I'll give you an example. Yesterday, I was doing a coaching call, and someone on the call said to me, "Hey, my goal with print on demand is to make $8,000 a month within the next 3 months." And I said to them, I actually gave them an analogy. I said, what if you and I let's say I worked inside of a gym, right? And you came into the gym and I said to you, or you said to me, hey, I want to sign up for a membership. And my goal is to lose 50 pounds in the next 3 months. Do you think that's possible? A great response from the person working at the gym would probably be, hey, like, that's awesome. I'm pumped that you're so committed. One of the things I think might be better is like, why don't you sign up and why don't we try to, lose 5 pounds? Why don't we get you in here and just try to go to the gym, right? Why don't you just start coming to the gym and we'll focus on some different healthy habits in your life around eating and we can set some goals, right? We can kind of check our progress and see how things go. Hopefully that makes sense where I'm going with this. Basically what I'm saying is I think so many people, they have this idea in their head that they want to start print on demand and they place this enormous goal in front of themselves. Like, I want to do print on demand and I want to be able to retire by the end of this year, right? So in their head, they're like, oh my gosh, like I got to create the best store ever because I want to retire. And they just are in this constant state of like, I don't know if I can do this, right? If you just start print on demand with the expectation, like in the goal, like, let me just try to make a sale, right? Let me just try to make one sale. Let me try to make 2 sales. Let me try to make 1 sale per day. right? That's going to be something that is going to be way more achievable, right? In the short term, right? Because your goal is matched to where you're at, right? Does that make sense? Type one in the chat if that makes sense. Basically what I'm saying is if you set better goals for yourself that are easier to achieve, you're going to achieve them and you're going to get excited and your self-doubt is going to go away, right? Because if your goal is to make $8,000 in your first 3 months, as soon as you don't make 8,000 in your first 3 months, you're going to feel like you failed and you didn't achieve your goal and your self-doubt is only going to increase. So set a goal for yourself. I'm going to open a store and I want to make a sale, right? And then do everything you can to make one sale, right? Once you actually do that, you're going to have so much more confidence and that self-doubt is going to sort of drift away, right? It's going to be, you can set a new goal, right? And again, take it in baby steps, right? So the first thing is self-doubt. If you're getting anything out of this, make sure to drop a like on the stream because again, it shows the video here to a wider audience. If everybody can smash the like button. What's up, Teresa? What's up, Trina? Hello, Charlotte. Hello, Jason, Sarah. Hopefully you guys are all doing awesome. The second thing that most people struggle with is they just don't know what to do first, and then second, and then third, right? The idea to some people, because some of you are probably completely new to this sort of thing. Meaning you've never really done anything online, right? So the thought of like all the different things that you have to do sort of overwhelms you. And that's why if you haven't seen it, I have a free step-by-step course. There's about 30 videos in it that show you, the process of actually opening a store, which you could follow. And there's some strategies in there about what to do first and stuff like that. But I think if you're someone that is trying to get into print on demand and not knowing what to do first, you first have to have a plan. And what I mean by a plan is you have to have an idea for a store, right? You have to first decide like, okay, like what type of store am I going to create? And then you might be thinking to yourself, Joe Robert, like, what do you mean by type? What I mean is you're either going to have to create a niche store or a general store, right? A niche store would be a store that sells products to one niche. A general store has multiple niches on it, okay? You have to figure that out first. Okay. Secondly, you have to figure out, okay, well, what niche or niches am I selling to? So that way you can figure out who your target market is. After that, you got to figure out, okay, well, what products might they want? Okay. Start going through suppliers, figure out, a relatively small product line. I think you don't need a lot at the beginning. You don't need to have 10 different product types on your store. Like pick one product if you want to and create multiple designs for it. And that's, I kind of just slipped up. That's the third thing is making designs, right? Before you worry about anything else, before you worry about how to set up the store or how to market products or anything like that, like make your plan, figure out what type of store you're going to have, who you're selling to, what you're selling them, and then make your designs, right? Once you have all that, right? Let's say that you for the next week, 2 weeks, whatever, let's say you just go all in on an idea that you have, right? Making the designs and getting the product line ready. By the time that's all done, you are going to be so excited to get those designs onto a store, right? You're going to be so excited to get those designs out to the world. They're going to be ready and you're going to be like, okay, like I have my line of stuff. Like I'm going to go try to sell them now, right? If you're just sitting here and you don't have any designs made, and you don't have products and niches picked out or even just a store idea in your head, it's going to be impossible for you to actually figure out what to do first because you have nothing to actually get excited about, right? I see someone in the chat says, makes sense. I had a store forever, no sales because I had no goals. Like I said, with reason number one, if you're joining in late, is you got to set realistic goals. And then secondly, you got to come up with a plan, right? Before you actually do anything, right? Once you have your line of products, obviously you need to build a store. That would be step 2. Step 3 would be like, okay, how am I going to sell these products? How am I going to get traffic to the store? Whether it's on social media, whether it's by running paid ads, different things like that, right? But first and foremost, if you're like stalling and not actually taking action, you got to figure out what you're going to do first. And that kind of brings me to reason number 3, why people never actually start their store. And that's because they have too many ideas. They hear me say, figure out what you want to sell, and then they say back, well, I have too many ideas, right? And I see someone in the chat here, they said my hesitation was always not wanting to make a mistake of not knowing what the market wants versus choosing the things, that I may want to sell, right? You can definitely fall into this state of like overthinking and over analyzing, right? And that kind of brings us back to reason number one, self-doubt, right? Where you have these different ideas, but you don't know which one is the best, right? And what I will say to you is, at the end of the day, you have to pick one thing first. You have to try something, right? I actually have to plug in my laptop because I forgot to, and it's on low battery and it's gonna die. So give me one sec. Hold on. And then we'll continue the conversation. There we go. Plugged in. You have to pick one thing first. If you guys have been following my content for a little while, you know that I have been talking recently about gardening. That I love to garden. We just set everything up outside. It looks awesome. Maybe at some point I'll give you guys a tour outside. But we grew all the vegetables from seed this year. Right on the other side of this computer, there is shelving. In some of my older YouTube videos, and when I say older, I'm talking like a couple weeks ago, there was me in there like showing you guys the seedlings and stuff. And the reason I bring it up is, when I first started the seeds back in March, everything died. And I talked about this on YouTube and related it back to print on demand. But the reason it is significant is I could have given up on growing seeds. I now have over 100 plants outside that I grew myself. But the moral of the story is, I could have spent weeks, months, years trying to get the courage to actually put seeds in the ground. And what I mean by that is, I could have overanalyzed. I could have said to myself, okay, well, what is the best soil to grow the seeds in? What are the best lights? What is the best shelving? Where should I buy the seeds? I could have spent so much time on all of that, but eventually I had to just put seeds in the ground and try to grow something. And yeah, the seeds died, but you know what? I tried again. I made some tweaks, right? What I did first isn't what I ended up doing second. And I would say the same thing to you. If you're someone that feels like this person here in the chat says analysis paralysis for reals, your name is, where is it here? I can see it on my phone, Charlotte. If you're in analysis paralysis, like, you have to do something. You know what I mean? You have to put a seed in the ground. You have to try. It's okay. Again, if we go back to that first thing, set realistic goals. It's okay if your first idea doesn't knock it out of the park. Like, you don't need to create a profitable print-on-demand store tomorrow. Meaning, you don't need to do what you do today doesn't need to necessarily work tomorrow. It's okay if what you do today doesn't work, and then you try something else, and then it doesn't work, and then you try something else, and it does work. That's okay. This doesn't need to be an overnight thing, right? Those are the three reasons that you might not be starting your store. Type number one, if you got something out of this. And like I said before, make sure to drop likes on the stream. That just helps us to get this video out to more people here inside of the group. If you're someone that is watching this right now and you're thinking to yourself, yeah, that kind of makes sense. Those are some of the things that maybe I haven't, that I've been thinking about, right? Maybe you have too many ideas. Maybe you have self-doubt, that kind of thing. Hopefully you have seen the new workshop that I've been talking about. Obviously there is tons of my free content out there, YouTube videos, live streams here in the group. But for the past couple of years, I've also been working privately with students in paid programs. And so far, people have made about $5 million in sales on their store. You can see this side. It's a mirror for me. You can see the mugs right here. These are mugs that I send out to students for various sales milestones. This is the 100K mug. Just this month, I sent out one of these. I sent out two of the $1,000 mugs, and I sent out one of the 250K tumblers, meaning students have made roughly $350,000 in mugs that just this month that I've sent out. And the reason I'm talking about all of it is this new workshop is going to be awesome because it's an opportunity for me to teach some really in-depth stuff to people that are trying to get started. This workshop is not an expensive training or anything like that. Tickets are on sale right now. They're just $27, and it's going to be awesome. We're going to go through a whole bunch of stuff that's going to help you to figure out actually exactly what you want to sell, right? If you're someone that is basically just spending way too much time on an existing store trying to sell saturated product and it's not working, this is going to be perfect for you, because we're going to go through a bunch of things that can help you to choose, some better products that might help you to outsell some of your competitors and break through some of that saturation. Also, if you're someone that's just trying to create as many designs as possible, right? A lot of times I'll talk to people, especially new students of mine. They'll say, "Yeah, I've just been in this state of like designing products. I've just been basically going through and creating as many different products as I can, and I've never actually tried to sell them because all I'm doing is making designs." If that's you, this is going to be perfect because we're going to shortcut the entire design process. And then also too, if you're someone that hasn't even gotten started yet, this is almost way more perfect for you because you haven't made any of those other mistakes that other people are going to make, right? You haven't actually ran a failing store. The goal of this is to walk you through the process of actually creating products that actually sell, right? Basically, the training includes how to find and research the most profitable niches to sell print on demand products to in 2022. If you guys have watched my content, I talk all the time about niches. If you're someone that's trying to figure out, what niche is going to be good for me, which one should I sell in, which one is going to work, not only am I going to help you to find a good niche, but I'm going to show you how I research niches. So that way you can gain some confidence. That way you can kind of copy my research tactics to say, yeah, there is a chance this niche could be good. Or secondly, actually, now that I've researched this niche, it might not be good, and I'm going to avoid it, right? We're also going to go through strategic product selection. So many people start print on demand and they just randomly choose products. They don't really give it much thought. They just kind of almost pick the product first and then try to force it on the niche. And really, the majority of my success with print on demand is based on choosing products that make sense for the niches. When it really comes down to it, when you're selling a print on demand product, your product choice is what impacts the sale the most, because that's what people are paying for, right? The product is what creates the impulse purchase, right? And through this process of strategic product selection, you're going to be able to match your niche to a product that's going to be way more likely to actually sell to them. We're also going to go through a process that I call undercover design hacking. You're going to become a design hacker, which is basically a two-step process where you're going to completely shortcut the entire design process. Even if you're not a designer, this is something that really everybody can do. It's how I create all my designs, and it's super effective and also simple. You don't have to stress out and think for days and weeks about making a design, right? Like I said, tickets are on sale for this now. It is limited because if there's too many people, there's going to be too many people for me to help, because I'm going to be responding to people, giving feedback on their ideas and things like that. When you purchase a ticket, you'll be able to join our private coaching Facebook group. I set up a coaching group for this training. This is where all of the live streams are going to happen. You'll get unlimited access to all of the replays. So if you want to go back and watch it again, you can. Or if you can't attend live, you'll have the replay, unlimited access. There's also a bunch of sign-up bonuses. I just put a link in the chat. If you click that link right here, I put it in the chat, you'll be able to see all of the bonuses. There's 6 that are pretty sweet. And like I said, this workshop is brand new, something I'm super excited about, because like I said, I've been working with students now for a little while privately in my coaching program, and this is a brand new workshop with like I said, tickets on sale. It's gonna be a really cool time. Someone in the chat says, "Good morning, Joe. Hello. You said, I'm happy I'm seeing the live videos pop up again. I don't know why they stopped coming up." I don't know. Facebook sometimes is weird, where it doesn't show things to people for whatever reason. I don't really know. I wish Facebook would just give you a notification for everything. It would make everybody's lives easier. But regardless, I know that this workshop isn't for everybody, but it is for those that want to become serious about print on demand and need a little bit of a kick in the butt to actually get there. Not only will you be able to go through all the training, but you'll get personal help from me the entire time. It's gonna be a really fun event. People have been signing up all week. Tickets are about half gone at this point, and I will be answering any questions. So if you have any, please let me know, and I'll come back through. Like if you're watching this as a replay, type them in the chat, and I'll get a notification. I'll come back through and make sure that you get an answer. But regardless, start your store, right? I went through 3 reasons today why people typically don't. Start your store, right? Set yourself a realistic goal, figure out a little bit of a plan, and get over some of that overwhelm with what you're doing in terms of too many ideas, right? You got to start with something. I gave you the analogy with my garden. At some point, I had to put the seeds in the ground and just try to grow a plant, right? At some point, you gotta do something, or you're gonna. I mean, so I've seen people here in the group that for 6 months they just kind of lurk, right? They kind of linger in the group and they never actually uh, do anything, right? Meanwhile, there's a lot of people that are doing stuff that are having some pretty cool results. Like I said, this month, people in my coaching program have been crushing it. So that's what I got for you guys today. Happy Friday. Hopefully, you guys have a fantastic weekend, and I hope to see you at this workshop. There's a link in the chat, like I said, if you wanted to check it out and see how we can work together to create a best-selling product for you. So let me know if you have any questions, and that is it for me. So see you guys. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you on the other side.